You're watching Pepp's Funny World. Hello, I'm Pepp, and welcome along to my funny world. Over the course of this series, I'll be bringing you a selection of entertainers, big screen giggles, sketch shows that make me either smile, giggle, or sometimes laugh out loud that I practically wet myself. This week it's all about funny icons. Les Dawson was an English entertainer, writer and presenter. Best known for his curmudgeonly persona, his funny faces, his jokes about his wife, and especially his mother-in-law.
I've just had some bad news. Tomorrow it's the mother-in-law's funeral. And she's cancelled it. Actually, despite the things I say about that that woman, I'm very fond of her. When she was ill last year, I said to the wife, I said, don't worry about your mother. If she's at death's door, I'll pull her through.
Dawson's comedy career began in his early life where he was performing as a pianist in a Parisian hotel. There he would play all the wrong notes, not necessarily in the right order, whilst also complaining to the audience about the hardships of life. His professional television debut came in 1967 when he performed on the then talent show, the big talent show of the day, Opportunity Knocks. From then on, he rose through comedy, becoming one of Britain's best-loved entertainers and a legend on the comedy scene. From the latter end of the 1960s, Les would appear in a number of television shows, his first one being comedy panel show Joker's Wild in 1969, hosted by the late Barry Cryer. His own sketch show appeared in 1969 called Says Les, followed by the Dawson's Weekly in 1975. In the latter end of the 1970s, we had Dawson's Watch and the Les Dawson Show running from 1978 to 1987. In 1984, he took over hosting popular Terry Wogan game show Blankety Blank, currently hosted by the one and only Mr. Bradley Walsh. Les Dawson's most famous comic creation is that of housewives Sissy and Ada, performing alongside his legendary comedy partner, / double act if you like with these sketches, Roy Barraclough.
I was just thinking he looked a trifle wan.
Well, let's face it, I am at a funny age. I wouldn't tell another living soul this, of course. I'm approaching the change.
Approaching the change? From which direction?
Sissy and Ada remain one of comedy's greatest ever creations, paying homage to the traditional housewives seen during the 1940s all the way up to the early 80s. The characters were based on those Les Dawson knew in real life and pay homage to one of his comedy heroes, Norman Evans, with his sketch Over the Garden Wall. Sadly, Les Dawson passed away in 1993, but leaves us with an archive full of funny moments, comedy creations, and of course those unique funny faces. Victoria Wood wrote many sketches, plays, musical films and sitcoms throughout her life. Her humour is grounded in everyday life, where she included references to activities, attitudes and products that were exemplary during her rise in comedy. Wood's comedy career began in 1974 when appearing on the ATV talent show of the day, New Faces. She established herself as a comedy star during the 1980s, winning a BAFTA TV award for her sketch show, Victoria Wood, As Seen on TV.
It's got no price on. Did you notice how much they were?
No, I didn't.
Won't be long.
Good.
We're a bit short-handed today. See, us that works here gets the old food cheap. And if it's something like a pork pie, you can actually die a pound. So, the girl that checks the prices, she's probably, passed on.
The sketch show saw regular appearances from Julie Walters, Celia Emery, Duncan Preston, Susie Blake and Mrs. Bucket herself, Bouquet, Patricia Routledge. Acorn Antiques is perhaps the best remembered regular item from the series. It was a spoof soap opera set in an antique shop. But the best remembered tune from the show is the 7-minute long song, The Ballad of Barry and Frida. Let's do it.
Let's do it, let's do it, anyone's around to rave. Let's go, cause I know just how I want you to behave. Not bleakly, not meekly, beat me on the bottom with a woman's weekly. Let's get it tonight. Thank you.
Victoria Wood sadly passed away in April 2016. Was very much a missed entertainer and comedy icon. She features in my top 5 greatest funny icons, taking 3rd place just behind Les Dawson. Next time on Pepp's Funny World, Wallace and Gromit and the Curse of the Were-Rabbit and the return of the Pink Panther.